Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today, we're going to be, getting back into this Ime Udoka story. Seems like some more information has come out, but before we get into it, please make sure you go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, we all know the backstory, the situation. Ime Udoka, Boston Celtics head coach. Helped coach that team to a NBA Finals appearance. I think the first appearance they've made in the last decade, in the last 10 years plus. They haven't, for the Boston Celtics, we know that. Then a few weeks ago, a story broke that the Boston Celtics were deciding to suspend him for 1 year, and I think they were going to cut his pay because of some things that took place in their organization that went against workplace policies. And from that point forward, everyone and their grandmother, including us, has had an opinion on the Ime Udoka story, and then from that it evolved into, Stephen A. Smith versus Malika Andrews, and Malika Andrews versus this. It just turned into a firestorm. And I think a lot of what a lot of people have said in the comment section and people in the public, they've been saying that, listen, as more comes out regarding this story, we're going to really get to the bottom of what things are, what actually transpired. And it looks like today with this article that we got from fadeawayworld.net, that there's some more information that has come out, about this story that I definitely want to get into, and I definitely want to give you guys my thoughts, but also hear from the audience as well on this particular matter. So before we go any further, let me just get into this article here. Then we're going to read a little bit, and then we're going to come back. So the article basically starts off with the headline: Ime Udoka's affair reportedly involved him sleeping with the wife of a Celtics minority owner. The Ime Udoka cheating scandal has been one of the biggest talking points around the NBA in recent days. The Boston Celtics coach was expected to take another step after leading the team to the finals in his first season, but finds himself suspended instead. While there was quite a bit of support for Ime Udoka in the beginning from certain people, that has since dried up thanks to multiple people suggesting the matter is worse than it seems. The suggestions so far haven't provided any concrete details, although a report did say that Ime Udoka had an affair with an employee that handles travel for him and the team. But that in itself, which was initially called a consensual relationship, isn't the only affair Udoka was seemingly involved in, with some speculation about a potential relationship with a Boston Celtics minority owner. Continues on. Ime Udoka's situation has set imaginations ablaze as everyone tries to figure out what exactly happened. The head coach's infidelity and suspension are public knowledge, but the details are yet to come out. And now some reports from sideline sports reporter Khaled Abdallah have come out providing details that were unknown to this point. Heard some things about the Ime Udoka situation from a friend at NBA League office. We'll see what's real and when the news drops. Udoka and Nia Long are in a long relationship, and he's a serial offender with the ladies wherever he coached. In Boston, he slept with team staffers. Continues on. That handles team accommodations and bookings. She is married and her husband caught them. Husband went to the team and they signed paperwork saying it was consensual, and that should have been it. Later, she said Udoka was inappropriate to her before they got together. And it continues on. Team told him to chill, but he kept doing whatever. And then he slept with a Celtics minority owner's wife. That was too much for them, and they suspended Ime. If it was mid-season, they would have fired him, but it's off-season, so there was more time to investigate and see what else he did. And the article concludes, while there is no way to fully verify this account and tell if it's true or not, it fits with a few pieces of information that have been made available so far. So you heard what the article had to say there. And I have a lot of thoughts that I definitely want to get into, reacting to what this article just said here. First of all, I think it's important to say that none of this information has been verified, right? So a lot of this, we're still kind of speculating. So it's important that we say that this is not the absolute fact, and it hasn't. I mean, some people have said, like Matt Barnes and others, they heard what really happened, and they decided to change their position on the situation. But we out here in the public, because I'm not a former NBA player, I never worked around the NBA, so I'm not privy to that information. So I don't know what's true yet. All we know is what has happened, which was he was suspended for a year, and they said it was something that happened but that's all we know. We don't know anything else. So I just want to say that before we continue, and I'm not taking this information as fact. Now, if is the key word here, in fact, these reports are true, I think Ime, if it's true, I think Ime was an idiot for putting himself in a situation like this. Even if it was consensual, I think you got to be an idiot to put yourself in that type of, drama and jeopardy, right? Because you just never know what the other person may do. And the moment you put yourself in a situation like that, you open up yourself for things like this to happen. Based on what I heard, none of this was forceful. So at one point or another, it was all kumbaya. But then, of course, as it always does, things always go sour. And when they go sour, you now open yourself to find yourself in situations like this. So number one, we got to address the stupidity on Ime Udoka for putting himself in that situation. Why? Because no one forced him. No one forced him to go put himself in that situation. Now, it's still unclear who those people were, but they themselves were stupid for putting themselves in that situation if, in fact, it was all consensual. It takes two to tango. So that's my first thoughts about the situation. My second thoughts are this. I don't think Ime Udoka is going to come back and coach this team. I personally don't believe it. It could happen. I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen. Based on some of the things that have been coming out, the whole thing seems too messy. It just seems way too messy, right? It's just a lot of it just seems really shady and unnecessary, right? It's just shady and unnecessary, right? Why would you put yourself in a position like that, right? So I don't see how they're going to get past this as an organization. And from what we've been hearing, it's multiple actors in this situation, which is crazy when you think about it. When you're thinking about the place that you work at. So I think this should be a lesson to everyone. Be careful with what you're doing and don't do these type of things where you work. It's madness, right? Now, some places go for it, but whenever things go sour, these type of things ultimately are going to happen. So to me, we don't have all the facts yet, but to me, this story is getting crazier and crazier as the days go by. So what I want to know from you guys, whatever you guys think about the situation, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section, and we'll catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.